What's up, everybody? It's your favorite golfer's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at the X-Transbots Savant. And the reason why I say golfer's favorite nerd is because X-Transbots has been on a bit of an upswing recently, which has been very welcomed by me. I've bought most of their products, so it's nice to get good ones. And hopefully this will be no different, but you'll have to wait and see. Real quick, let's get this out of the way. This was sent to me from GCI TOYS. I'm gonna put their contact info in the bottom. They've been very good to me. If you're thinking about getting one, get it from them and tell them Scully sent you. Now, let's look at accessories. Comes with this little dual laser Johnny, as my buddy Dominic says, and it's got the metallic blue paint and white paint on top. It plugs into the top of the vehicle, and he holds this one just fine, but the arm doesn't want to support almost the weight. And then it comes with this unit, which doesn't have the metallic blue paint, but it does have white paint on top and some really fine white paint. That's really well done and took me by surprise, if I'm being quite honest. This one can kind of plug into the top of the vehicle if you want to shoot up. And he holds that just fine by holding the longer stem with the shorter stem plugging into the forearm. Then you got your little buddy here. We got red paint down the side, yellow paint along the front. Yellow paint's a tricky color and it's done pretty well. And some red paint even on the struts there. Transforming it, not a big deal. We just got to get these pieces up and out of the way. And then get this piece up. Now these are very small pieces of plastic, so be mindful, but after you get that up, you're pretty much in service. You got a little kickstand down here that you can rotate to your liking. Gimmicks wise, the door is open on both sides, and the rear trunk opens, and you can put your little friend in here. And close it all up. Now let's talk about vehicle mode. It's beautiful. Blue metallic paint, red paint, white paint, sharp as a tack, orange paint on the side, silver paint, translucent plastics, yellow paint, looking great, orange paint, that's plastic, translucent windows that are tinted black, perfect choice. Exhaust pipe in the back painted silver, little tank under here painted silver, silver on the hubcaps, rubber tires, we got the softer plastic side view mirrors, the little red paint on top of the grill. It's phenomenal, rolls like a champ. I will say there is one section of mine, and this is more than likely an individual results will vary thing, but please feel free to let me know. The paint on this particular panel, on this particular area, is slightly different than the rest. It's a very minute thing. I don't think I'd even notice it if it weren't for these harsh lights that it's sitting under, but it's something to mention. It's the only thing I can mention as a criticism. It's really well done. There it is next to Tiger Track, so looks good to me. There it is in Optimus's trailer. Let's get him transformed. Open the doors. Open the back piece. To tell you what this is a spudger. I got it from the Realm. If you're going to TFCon, all I can tell you, last year it came in the rock box that they sell, and I know they're having a rock box this year. So open up that piece as well. Break the connection where the legs are. Split the legs. What you're looking to do is straighten this leg out, keeping this little notch kind of above water, so to speak. Flip the foot out. Open this back panel up, and there's a little piece that you can swing all the way out. Once you've swung it all the way out, you can fold this piece back, and then this will tab in to that. Let's run it back. So rotate the knee all the way around, rotate the foot out, open this back window, push this little panel out and around so that you can push this little flap back and then re-secure it. Using your ankle rocker, get your ankle out of the way and then move your tire around. My rubber is coming off the wheel, so I'm just gonna try to sort that out while I'm moving it around, and then tuck it up inside of the leg. You can then rotate this down and bring your foot back down and flatten out the heel spur. Let's do that again. Get your foot up and out of the way, rotate the tire around, tuck it up inside the leg, rotate that flap back, collapse the foot back down. Underneath, let's get the arms out. You can open these flaps, they'll help you pull them both out. And then you gotta unwrap them. They're all wrapped up in there. Once you bring it around, there is a little tab here. And if you rotate that 180 degrees, after untabbing it, you can lock it back in to the bicep. And then swing the arm around, and this piece comes back and over top of the tire, and then you can collapse that and sort of clean that up. And then you have to pull up on this entire assembly until you get to that joint is what you're looking for. Let's do it again. Just up and at them. And then I'll just pull that whole assembly out now. I'm gonna collapse that, unlock my little piece here. You can do it by spinning, it's probably better, puts less stress on the figure, and then collapse that. Rotate this entire assembly around, collapse over top of the wheel, and then collapse this piece and this piece. Did I miss it on the other side? No, I got it. Now this part here is scary, so a moment of truth. There's 2 tabs here. The instructions say, and it does work, but this is the last time I'm gonna do it, to put pressure down here, which will pop the 2 tabs out. And it does work, but it feels like you're gonna break it. So be careful there, but it will pop out. Actually, while we're here, we can go ahead and push up on the head, so to speak. And you can make sure that your seats are collapsed in the back. Take your side view mirrors and fold them to the inside. This is important because not only does it protect them and get them out of the way, but it also allows you to perform the next step clearance-wise, which is get these shoulders up and out of the way and then collapse so that this slide goes into that tab there. And it's just a matter of lining it up. Now, sort that out. Then you just have to rotate it, the hips up and then down, turn the head, position the arms appropriately on both sides. Collapse the backpack over the seats, which you've also hopefully collapsed. And then position your windows. I'll clean them up, we'll take a look at them. And let's talk about the figure. Forgive paint on my fingers and stuff. We had the Halloween party last night. I'm doing the second half of this video now. I'm trying to get as much done because we're going to TFCon and I don't want you guys to miss a beat. So the head is painted. It's on a ball peg. So you get down, up. This will actually hinge as well, but you don't really want to do that. And then you get the swivel. The features on the face sculpt are very muted, which is a bummer. Like, it's not a clear sculpt. Like, it's dull. Can you see that? It's like, especially around the mouth. So it gives it a cheap vibe. However, it is painted nicely. It's that blue metallic and then white paint, I think, as well. And then the blue metallic eyes. So that looks good. The chest has the blue metallic. Looks great. Same thing we talked about in car mode, so no need to really go through that any further. So you have this little hinge inside the chest. It doesn't really help with articulation. You do have a hinge with a swivel here. It's basically a makeshift universal at the shoulder. So you can get the arm out to the side 90 degrees and around. The tolerance on this arm is very poor. It feels cheap and junky, which is a bummer, but it is there. We have a bicep swivel. However, its tolerance too tight, so you see this piece moving, but that's not where the bicep swivel is. It's actually lower. It's here, and it should work fine, but it's just a bit too tight. So as you go to manipulate it, the shoulder piece ends up coming undone. So that is a bit of a bummer as well. And then we have the elbow, which gets you past 90 degrees, so that's nice on a single hinge. Wrist swivel, and then the fingers on a base pin knuckle, all the fingers are connected and attached, which is fine. It beats the individually articulated ones anyway. We have a swivel here at the waist, so that works fine. And then we have an ab crunch, which gets you pretty much all the way over. We have universals for hips. They're just tensioned. They work fine, but they're not, it's a heavy figure down the bottom's a lot of die cast, so there is something about the hips that feels a little less than stellar, but they work fine. So you get the full Van Damme and the full Monty, so no problems there. And then you get no paint there either. It's painted a lot. It's just this area here that looks a little plain, so to speak. Thigh swivel works fine. Ratcheted double jointed knee gets you 90 degrees, so that's good. A little bit of painted detail there on the kneecap. And then we have just the car accents that come through, and then we have the ankles, which work really well. So you get a tilt, no issues there. A heel spur that can change as well to help with posing and such. You get a rocker like a natural rocker to there, but then you can also extend the ankle and then get a complete full rocker. So you'll never have any issues getting this guy to look kind of realistic, like he's supporting his weight and stuff. So that's nice. That's really well done. And then on the back, it looks pretty clean. The windows do kind of move about a bit, so no issues there. Well, we'll get there. Let's do some size comparisons. And there's a size comparison for you. So about the same size as an MP car. Final thoughts wise, let's talk about the negatives. My big negative is obviously the tolerance issues. The biceps are too tight, which makes the shoulders quickly able to come undone. The one shoulder on mine is particularly loose, which has a hard time supporting the weight of its gun while in hand. The sculpt on the face is about as dull as an average number 2 pencil in any elementary school. And lastly, the windshield feels very sketchy when you're going to plug it in to car mode and then also unplugging it from car mode. It just feels like those tabs are not going to make it for the long run. It feels like there is a time cap on their durability, and I'm not sure when that is, but it doesn't seem too far away. Plenty of positives though as well. The articulation works across the board with no issue whatsoever. It's beautifully painted. It's not covered in paint, but it's more than enough to get the job done. It presents very well. The sculpt, with the exception of the face, works, and the engineering is top shelf as well. Has a decent feel to it and cleans up like a champ. I'll tell you what this feels like to me. When we saw X-Transbots kind of switch gears into more reliable, well-known stuff, this feels like something that would have hit during that transitional period and not after we've already received a couple other items from X-Transbots, which have been pretty great. This is still a big step up from the average stuff they used to put out, but it's not quite up to par with some of the more recent stuff they've been putting out, which isn't very comforting, but perhaps it's just an anomaly. It's still a recommend from me at the end of the day. I don't think you'll need another Skids. I think this will get the job done, and you can pretty much rest assured that there's no need to kind of worry about the character any longer in the sense of occupying the shelf space. Hope that helps. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.